Have you ever taken a bite of something as simple as your morning bread and thought, there's no way this could be hurting my kidneys? Right, because if you have, I need to tell you something urgent. Something most people never hear until it's too late. What if I told you that the very bread you trust every day may be quietly pushing your creatinine higher, lowering your GFR and steering you toward a path far more dangerous than you realize? As a kidney specialist, I'm Dr. Mark Ellis, and I've seen patients who did everything right, yet lost kidney function simply because no one warned them about the hidden potassium, phosphorus, and sodium packed into the wrong type of bread. And here's the part that shocks almost everyone. While some breads silently destroy kidney cells inch by inch, others, very specific ones, can actually protect your kidneys, lower creatinine naturally, and support a stronger GFR without medication, without complicated diets, and without giving up the foods you love. The difference between the two isn't small. It's the difference between slowing kidney damage and accelerating it. Today, I'm going to show you the 4 breads that every kidney patient should know about, the same ones used in renal protocols across the US, and I'll explain exactly why they help your kidneys rather than harm them. And as we begin this journey together, I want you to stay with me, because what you're about to learn has changed my patients' lives, some avoiding dialysis entirely simply by switching the bread on their plate. And if it worked for them, it can work for you too. So let's start uncovering the truth that has been hidden in plain sight. When we talk about kidney-safe foods, most people expect complicated medical lists or restrictive diets, not something as familiar and comforting as bread. But here's the surprising truth. The very first bread on this list, white sourdough, has helped more of my patients lower creatinine than any expensive supplement they've tried. And the reason is simple. Sourdough behaves differently inside the body, especially inside a stressed kidney. I remember one of my patients, Linda, a 62-year-old retired teacher who came to me terrified after her eGFR dropped from 49 to 38 in just 6 months. She wasn't eating junk food, she wasn't overeating protein, yet her creatinine kept climbing. When we reviewed her diet, she was eating whole wheat bread every morning, thinking it was the healthiest choice. What she didn't know was that whole wheat bread carries high potassium, and phosphorus loads 2 minerals that, when kidneys are struggling, can quietly accelerate the decline she was experiencing. When we switched her breakfast to white sourdough, something remarkable happened. Her creatinine stabilized within weeks, her energy returned, and her bloating disappeared. She told me, "Dr. Ellis, I can't believe bread made this much difference. And this isn't magic, it's biology. White sourdough contains only about 55 millimoles of potassium and 35 millimoles of phosphorus per slice, which dramatically reduces the filtration burden on weakened kidneys. Even better, the fermentation process produces beneficial lactic acid bacteria that support the gut-kidney axis, helping your body eliminate toxins more efficiently instead of letting them circulate and worsen creatinine levels. And because sourdough digests more slowly than typical breads, it keeps your blood sugar stable, critical for kidney patients, since blood sugar spikes can lead to faster GFR decline. Stability, gentleness, and low mineral load. It's a combination that makes sourdough a hidden ally for thousands of kidney patients across the US who simply want to eat without fear. So if you're someone who's ever felt confused about what to eat, or if you've switched from one healthy bread to another and still saw your creatinine rise, sourdough might be the piece you've been missing. But stay with me, because understanding sourdough is only the beginning. Its benefits matter, but what you pair it with, how you prepare it, and how often you eat it determines whether it truly protects your kidneys or silently harms them. And that's exactly what we're about to uncover. But knowing this alone isn't enough, because the next factor is even more critical, and most people overlook it without realizing how dangerous it can be. And once you understand why sourdough protects the kidneys, it becomes easier to see why the second bread on this list, Italian bread, has been a quiet hero for so many of my patients who struggle with rising creatinine but still want to enjoy a normal meal. Italian bread may look simple, almost too ordinary to matter, but that's exactly why it works. It delivers what damaged kidneys need most: low stress, predictable digestion, and steady minerals that don't overwhelm the filtration system. I'm reminded of a patient named Robert, a 58-year-old mechanic who came to my clinic exhausted from battling fluid retention and blood pressure spikes. His labs showed high sodium intake, but he insisted he wasn't eating salty foods. When we reviewed his diet, we discovered the problem hiding in plain sight. He was eating commercially packaged breads loaded with sodium preservatives and phosphate additives ingredients that push kidneys to work harder than they should. When I switched him to fresh Italian bread, just 60 milligrams of potassium and 40 milligrams of phosphorus per slice, with moderate sodium around 220 milligrams, his numbers finally shifted in the right direction. His swelling dropped. His morning blood pressure stabilized. His creatinine, which had been creeping up, started to level out. Italian bread gave him the one thing his kidneys had been begging for a break. And because it's made from simple ingredients with only light fermentation, it's easier on the gut-reducing systemic inflammation, one of the hidden drivers behind accelerated CKD progression. The carbohydrates in Italian bread are slowly digested starches, meaning they don't spike blood sugar, a critical advantage for anyone managing diabetes alongside kidney disease. Elevated glucose is one of the fastest ways to push GFR downward, and Italian bread helps prevent that roller coaster effect. So when people ask me, Dr. Ellis, is it really possible that a small shift like changing bread could protect my kidneys? My answer is always yes, because I've watched it transform real lives. But here's where I want you to lean in a little closer. Choosing the right bread is only half the battle. How you toast it, pair it, and portion it determines whether it stays kidney-friendly or turns into a silent threat. And that's why the next type of bread is so important. Its unique structure offers advantages that even Italian bread can't match. But just knowing this isn't enough, because the next factor is even more dangerous if misunderstood. And once you realize how Italian bread can stabilize your numbers, the next bread on this list might surprise you even more, because it's one most people overlook entirely: Pita bread. Light, flexible, and unbelievably gentle on the kidneys, Pita has become a secret weapon in my clinic for patients who need the comfort of carbohydrates without the dangerous mineral load. What makes Pita so valuable is that it gives you the structure of bread without the heavy weight of potassium, phosphorus, and sodium that typically stress the kidneys. In fact, a standard Pita contains only 70 milligrams of potassium, 45 milligrams of phosphorus, and about 210 milligrams of sodium, making it one of the lowest risk breads someone with CKD can choose. One of my most memorable cases was a patient named Maria, a 64-year-old grandmother who loved sandwiches, but felt she had to give them up after being diagnosed with stage 3 CKD. She spent months feeling deprived, cycling through low-carb diets that drained her energy and left her feeling defeated. When she finally came to me, she said, "Dr. Ellis, I'm scared to eat anything that tastes good. That fear is far more common than you think." So I introduced her to Pita, warmed lightly at 160 degrees Fahrenheit, filled with grilled zucchini cucumber and a small portion of chicken breast. She cried when she realized she could enjoy food again without harming her kidneys. Within 8 weeks, her creatinine dropped slightly, her GFR stabilized, and the anxiety she carried around her meals finally lifted. Scientifically, Pita works because it provides slow, steady carbohydrates that avoid the blood sugar spikes known to accelerate kidney decline. Its modest 2 grams of dietary fiber support gut health and help remove nitrogenous waste, while its 15 milligrams of magnesium contributes to smoother blood pressure control, something that can make or break kidney outcomes. And unlike dense breads that sit heavy in the gut, Pita digests cleanly, reducing gastrointestinal stress that can indirectly worsen toxin accumulation. When prepared properly, never fried, never over-toasted, never stuffed with high-potassium vegetables, Pita becomes an ideal foundation for kidney-safe meals that taste good, feel good, and support your body instead of working against it. But here's what I want you to think about: if a simple bread like Pita can make this much difference, imagine what happens when you combine the right bread with the right toppings, the right textures, and the right cooking methods. Because the final bread on this list doesn't just reduce kidney stress, it provides advantages that can shift your creatinine trajectory in ways most people never expect. But knowing this alone still isn't enough, because the next factor is even more dangerous if misunderstood. And once you've seen how Pita can restore joy to your meals without burdening your kidneys, it's time to look at a bread that most people never expect to show up on a kidney-safe list: ciabatta. With its airy texture, crisp exterior, and soft interior, ciabatta looks indulgent, almost too good to be safe. But that's the beauty of it. Ciabatta delivers satisfaction without the hidden mineral overload that destabilizes creatinine levels. A single slice contains only 32 millimoles of potassium, 12 millimoles of phosphorus, and about 45 millimoles of sodium, making it one of the gentlest breads for anyone with declining GFR. What makes ciabatta even more unique is its ability to provide steady energy without overwhelming the kidneys with nitrogenous waste. Its moderate 4 grams of protein support muscle function without producing excess metabolic byproducts, and its slow-release carbohydrates help prevent sudden spikes in blood sugar, crucial for patients whose creatinine rises whenever their glucose does. I still remember my patient Samuel, a 70-year-old former firefighter, who loved hearty foods but felt lost after being told to avoid bread. He came into my office frustrated, saying every diet he tried left him hungry, drained, and angry at his diagnosis. When I introduced him to ciabatta and showed him how to toast it lightly at 150–160 degrees and pair it with grilled zucchini and a touch of olive oil, everything changed for him. He told me, "Dr. Ellis, for the first time, I feel like I'm eating real food again." Over the next 3 months, his blood pressure stabilized. Thanks to the low sodium content, his creatinine dropped slightly, and he felt confident, empowered, even in managing his kidney health. This emotional shift matters more than most people realize. When patients feel deprived, they relapse. When they feel supported, they heal. Scientifically, ciabatta offers another advantage. Most breads don't because it's naturally low in phosphorus and contains minimal additives. It prevents the dangerous phosphorus buildup that disrupts calcium balance, weakens bones, and accelerates kidney decline. Its gentle mineral profile helps maintain a stable albumin to creatinine ratio, and its light structure makes digestion smoother, reducing gastrointestinal stress that can indirectly increase toxin retention. Ciabatta isn't just a food, it's a buffer, a way to satisfy cravings without undermining your kidney's ability to recover. And this is where I need you to listen closely. These 4 breads, sourdough, Italian pita, and ciabatta, can genuinely shift the direction of your kidney health when used correctly. But food choices alone don't explain everything. Because the truth is, even if you pick the perfect bread, there are hidden habits in your daily routine that can quietly sabotage your progress, pushing your creatinine higher, even while you think you're doing everything right. But knowing this alone isn't enough, because the next factor is even more dangerous and affects millions without them realizing. If you've made it this far, I want you to hear this from me clearly. You are not powerless in your kidney journey. Every choice you make, every meal, every habit, every small adjustment can shift the direction of your health more than you realize. Choosing the right bread may feel like a small step, but small steps done consistently are exactly what protect kidney function, stabilize creatinine, and give you back the life you want to live. And I want you to remember that you're not doing this alone. I'm here to guide you, support you, and help you avoid the mistakes that so many patients make simply because no one ever taught them what's truly safe. So before you go, make sure you save this video so you can come back to it anytime you need a reminder of what foods actually support your kidneys. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel and turn on notifications, because I share the newest, most practical, doctor-backed kidney health tips every week, information that can help you protect your GFR, lower your creatinine, and stay one step ahead of kidney disease. Your future self will thank you for staying informed. And here's the most important thing I want you to take with you. Kidney decline is not a straight line. With the right knowledge, the right habits, and the right support, your numbers can stabilize, your energy can return, and your hope can grow again. You deserve a life where you feel safe, strong, and in control, and I truly believe you can get there. Stay hopeful, stay committed, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll take the next step together toward protecting your kidneys and rebuilding your health.